Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
How
I
about
think I like
that?
the intro. I
Looks
like that.
good.
I'd like to know. We just got like, as long as I remember the music. Anybody who comes in and
Yes,
sees me, just literally just post remember the music. It'll
there
help me
you
so
go.
much.
That'll work. Howdy, howdy,
Um,
everyone. This is Random Nerd.
and this is mega opinionated, and
Welcome
we're
to
talking about the
our
money.
second episode of what is this again? Truth Talks.
Truth talks and fiction walks. Apparently,
That's right.
like I think and let's. Oh no, of course not. Not gonna work.
Not gonna
Okay.
bear with us. We're just starting out. Welcome to In Session Truth Talks. This is Random Nerd and of course Mega Opinionated. We are slowly making some shifts and changes. We want to give you guys the best opportunity. Um, Welcome. You know, we're two amateurs. We love to dig through some rabbit holes, but this is all fact based. Leave your assumptions at the door. Uh, Leave your conspiracy theories at the door. This is straight up facts.
Or in the comments because I like to see them. Um,
Yes, and we want you to share your thoughts, of course, with us as well. Um, Please challenge us, share your own information. The more that uh, we hear from you, the more information we can share with you. So,
exactly.
welcome. So, in this second episode,
Yes.
are we 2 episodes
Second,
already? Nice.
yeah. Technically, for the in sessions, it's the second. But when we dived into the CIA, how we started, and didn't end, but how we started was on the Voices of the People, where I believe we did 4 or 5 episodes. Now I'm gonna have to check.
About.
Like, let me see.
So we're slowly making some progress. So in this episode, as you can tell, the trails of the money tree. Uh, this episode is follow the money,
Money,
and
money.
exactly money.
Like where,
Follow the money.
like mm, it's it,
So
it, go
let's
ahead.
bring it down. Let's bring everything down to the average person. You go to a job, you work the job pays you for the work that you did. You get a nice fat paycheck, if it is fat, and it's deposited into your bank account. Now, every transaction has a trail to it, whether it's a paper trail for the older individuals, or in this new digital age, it'll have a digital transaction ID to it. So
Unlike
the
in the day before 9/11. Just saying. Go ahead.
yes. So this episode, we're going to hopefully connect some dots and share with you of how to follow the money. We don't have all the secrets, unfortunately. It's not that we can't or that we can't find it. It's just that, unfortunately, we are average Americans and we are not, you know, privy to the uh, 9/11 Commission or the Area 51 or, your
Right.
Roswell or you UFO fans out there. But what I can share with you is there are numerous resources available for you to go online and look through to find out who sends what money amount to the recipient. And one of those resources is opensecrets.gov, I believe. It allows you to look through majority of government officials to see who donates what, whether it's your average American to uh, organizations to political campaigns, and I kid you not, even to your big name brands and companies. More specifically, and this will dive into a few theories, but more specifically, your pharmaceuticals. Again, these aren't theories, these are known facts. Um, to share a little bit, on my own podcast, Critical Thinking Nerd podcast, criticalthinkingnerd.com, I have an episode on US Congress and oligarchy, and it shares our own US representatives, the US Congress, receiving donations from top name companies and brands. And it's fact, it's right there. So
Well,
for those who are, it's just campaign donations. You're right, it is campaign donations. It is donations for their congressional seats, for their own, for their own money pot, if you will.
right.
But here's the catch: U.S. Congress writes legislation. U.S. Congress votes on said legislation. Right? We all need donations. You
especially, especially Keegan, happy birthday. It was yesterday.
happy birthday, Keegan. Welcome to the live. Um, U.S. Congress votes, passes, and if it goes through the House and the Senate, it goes to the presidential desk where it is signed into law. And, if for some strange reason there is extra, um, what, I, I forget the jargon they use, but if there's extra meat, I guess that's the wording. If there's extra wording in said bills, a famous quote from California Representative Nancy Pelosi: "We don't know what's in it until we vote on it." I
Yes.
call bullshit. I call bullshit because they know what's in it because they read it. And if they don't read it, then it's just extra stuff that they put in because of the money wants, because of the donations that they receive from whomever to influence their their legislation. All
Right.
you have to do is connect the dots.
If we can't connect them for you, which I mean, we can tell you all we want, but until you really do the research and look into it, you're not going to get it.
Exactly. And by all means, we would love to tell you the answers. But it really takes your own curiosity to look for the answers yourself. And we're not trying to discourage you. We want to give you answers, but that's
Okay.
not the point. That's way too
Okay.
easy. That is way too easy.
Right. Like, I
What?
don't believe people just because it's what they say. I do the research to find out myself. If somebody says something, I'm going to be like, okay, let me take that for a grain of salt and let me go look it up. Let me go look it up.
No.
And it's nothing that I don't trust people. I just know that people repeat people. People will say whatever they hear.
An echo chamber is the term I've heard. You're just repeating stuff that you've heard two, three, 1,000 times over,
Right.
but you don't do the research. So challenge us,
But
challenge us.
what research did we find out? How much? Let's go back to what we were talking about right before we went
Oh
live.
my goodness, that
Because
number still baffles me, especially how many times what the Pentagon has failed. So go ahead, drop that number.
oh, oops. So 2001, September 10th, the Pentagon announced that they lost $3 trillion. It went, whew, goodbye, goodbye. Like, no idea. That money just disappeared. Look it up. I freaking dare you to. It's a fact, but everybody forgot because the next day we had the World Trade Center fall down. So, yeah. Anyway, and then if you're not on the whole, Israel did that. Just keep going. Just keep looking. You'll find it. Anyway, but the money went missing the day before that happened. Israel did it. Who paid them? And how much money? How much money was it? $240 billion we have paid to Israel. Factually, on paperwork, we have paid to Israel.
Here's another thing for you, for the listeners that are with us. I want you to really question this. The United States Pentagon has failed 6 financial audits. 6
Hey,
financial audits. One is like, okay, what is going on? Two is like, what the fuck are you doing? Three shouldn't even happen. The United States Pentagon has failed 6 financial audits.
right. And absolutely, Keegan,
Exactly.
you're right. You do
Exactly.
your own research. Like, don't believe everything I
So,
say.
right.
I'm sure.
Take this, take this episode with a grain of salt. You don't have to believe us. It's in news articles. It's in Bones. You're going to have to do some research. It's going to take some time. It might get frustrating because you can't find it. And you know what? It might not be there. Keep digging. Keep digging.
And
Rabbit holes will have some dead ends. When you go back a few steps, reevaluate, and then try another hole. Try a different tunnel.
try a different way because eventually you'll find it. But the money. So, like, also, like, I'm sorry, like, how do we just spend, like, where did that money come from? Like, that money, did the government just print up $240 billion and sent it to Israel? Did we just print that up? Like, how could we afford that with our massive debt?
Here's another route to think through. Obviously, the United States government just doesn't write a check and out in the open with media showing you a check to Israel or to whomever foreign government. They would never do that. That would be a blatant, out in the open violation altogether. So how did they do it? Well, you have your, like I said, you have your donations, the campaign donations, the political donations. You have your backdoor shell companies that we all know. We all know that every United States government official, minus the ones that we do question, every government official has some connected shell company. And the Cayman Islands, and they have their backdoor funding. You know where it all goes? It goes to the U.S. defense contractors. It goes to Lockheed Martin. It goes to Raytheon. It goes to your pharmaceuticals. And they're not going to just build a whatever weapon and ship it up. No, no. You know how you get around it? I'm gonna spill some beans here, so you better be prepared. They build the parts and then they ship it over various times.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And you know how everybody gets paid? With financial kickbacks.
Which really, where did the biggest would be our tax dollars.
Exactly. Where do you think your tax dollars are going? Why do you pay taxes if you know that it's funding someone else's war? A foreign we the United States Americans are funding proxy wars.
Right?
And
Like,
I'm gonna tell you straight out, on paper, officially, um Biden, yeah, I believe it was, well, technically Obama, but Biden is it anyway, one of Biden or Obama opened up the uh lifted the Iranian sanctions. And this was what, 10 years ago? So on paper, what you see are, Iran's going to build nuclear weapons. You know what really happened? They opened Obama lifted the sanctions. They got $2 billion of funding. You know where that went? That went to Hamas, that went to Al Qaeda, that went to the Houthis. That all that funding, volumes. Some of it was humanitarian aid. Don't get me wrong, but Iran is a known uh, supporter of terrorist organizations. All that sanction money went to those terrorist organizations. Look it up. Look it up.
yeah,
I challenge you. Look it up. And it may not show on paper, but you can definitely connect the dots. So on a technicality, and this is borderline conspiracy, but on a technicality, we funded October 7th,
yeah,
2023.
yeah.
America funded October 7th.
Which had a certain person really upset. Just saying.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Bowman's,
and
I'm against terrorism, of course. We all saw the videos of October 7th,
we
but
did.
to know that my tax dollars literally funded a terrorist attack. It doesn't matter who did what. My tax dollars funded a terrorist attack.
Right. Which it bothers me. It bothers me that my money goes into hurting people's bodies, literally hurting people's bodies. Goes into hurting people's lifestyles. It goes into everything but my fucking pocket. Like,
Exactly. And to take this a step further, Meg, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to disclose this about 9/11 too. For those, if you want to take this a step further, which I am, our tax dollars at the time funded the 9/11 attacks.
it funded the 9/11 tax, and then the guy who literally owned the building got money for his insurance who helped plan it. Like and gosh, the money is what pisses me off. The money is really what infuriates me because it's not our government's money.
It's not.
It's literally the government's employees. It's workers. Like,
Exactly.
have y'all seen friggin' A Bug's Life when he's talking about the one ant? If one ant steps up to us, they all might step up to us. Well, we're the fucking ants, and I'd rather them tell us that too. Like Candace Owens said this on her show. She's like, I'd rather have them be like, nana nana poo poo. We can do whatever we want. You're the poor, you're the peasants. You're the lower class. I'd rather them say that. I'd rather just like it's filtering through all the lies, through all the propaganda, through all the brainwashing, and like everything's connected. I've been saying that for weeks.
Everything's
Everything's
connected.
connected. Mm,
So how this relates to the CIA and Israel and everything that we're talking about, everything is
mm.
about money. All,
They were
all, all of
nasty.
these intelligence is about money. All of the intelligence agencies is about money. It's all connected through money. So when when we challenge you to follow the money, it will show you the picture. You're gonna have to connect the dots. It will show you the picture.
Right.
There's a meme that circulates. You know the conspiracy theory meme that circulates. I see that as the embodiment of follow the money. I forget what I see this from too, but
Mm.
that conspiracy theory meme is the embodiment of follow the money.
Literally. And like what also, as you were talking about with the Pentagon and how it's literally friggin' failed its friggin' audits, like, oh, there's just so much missing money. And it's like, what if that missing money went into our school system? What if that missing money went into regular Americans' pockets? How different would America be if we had this $240 billion extra in our pockets? And I'm not saying every American would have that much. It would vary from how much was actually taken out of your taxes. But still, if we had that money, I feel like we would be a different country.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Here's the other thing, and I want to emphasize this. We are not against Israel. And Tucker Carlson did an amazing job with that interview with Ted Cruz, if you haven't seen it. We are not against Israel. We are
Right.
challenging these
We're
governments.
from
We are challenging our own government. Where is the money going? Where's the
right.
money going? So simple as that. Show us the receipts of where our tax dollars are going.
Like, and I would much rather see that money be put into our friggin' healthcare, but more in holistic medications within the healthcare system than it to go to another country to fight for their country. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
it's not my
And
choice.
to put it right, to put it bluntly, instead of taking our politicians, United States Congress, instead of putting money into these programs to help United States citizens, they want the funding for illegals. They want the funding for proxy wars. Proxy means that you're not there per se, but you are influencing it directly. We are directly in proxy wars. And especially during this fiscal year, is it's 26 already. I'm not playing politics. The United States government is holding American citizens hostage by refusing to sign a spending bill.
Mm. There should be an absolute limit, and the American people should decide how much is spent. That's why, like everybody's like, and I I know it does affect people with this whole like government shutdown. Like I do get that, but it also gives the American people like the real scene of like how much of it was wasteful. How much of it like do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. So,
I went see here's the thing, and I can attest to this because I've been there. I've been through these shutdowns.
right.
I've seen almost every fiscal year. October 1 comes around and we have a shutdown, or there's
Right.
a lapse. Every single year. Are you not pissed off? Are you not pissed off? This is every single year. If you didn't pay your taxes, you would have the IRS be knocking at your door
You
wanting their cut.
can anybody else would be
Exactly.
if you failed an audit 6 times, you're going to jail, Bart.
You're
Like,
going to jail.
like, but yet our government can get away with so much
Well,
shit.
how? How are they allowed a pass? How are they even given a pass?
I think it's because the majority of America is too lazy to actually do something about it. And I know that a lot of people are going to be pissed off at that statement. They're going to be like, I'd do something. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that won't. And there's going to be a lot that won't. There are going to be a lot of people who would rather take themselves out. There, and I mean that literally. And I believe that others will just not stand up, not do anything, just sit on their couch and watch TV.
Here's the fine line, people, that the that is makes the difference between the talker and the doer. The talker will go out and protest. I'm not saying you can't. It is your constitutional right and duty to. The ones who actually will do it will pull a Bud Light. They will boycott the living fuck out of companies. You want
Right.
to force a change? Go where it hurts. Follow the money.
That's true.
Follow the money. You want to force a change? Follow the money. You know
Right.
what happened? And I am sad this is happening, but I also understand why it's happening. As an example, I grew up going to Cracker Barrel every so often, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did it for family meals, family gatherings. I enjoyed Cracker Barrel. I enjoyed the little gift store. I enjoyed the traditional feeling of it, the dim lights. You know, I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed. I've shared this video. I even enjoyed the little peg game stick. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
the little peg stick game.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? And this isn't just Cracker Barrel. A lot of these other franchises have done it. Their new renovation idea was to make it more modern, was to make it more, quote unquote, lively to the newer generation,
Right.
essentially erasing
Right.
the identity of, and if you haven't, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just go online and Google um, Cracker Barrel new logo. It just removes the old timer, removes the barrel itself, and it just has a logo on it. It just has a plain something like with ours, except it has nothing, just text, just letters and words.
Right.
You want to erase an identity? That's how you do it. You know what happened? That what it was on Thursday, Friday, Friday. It lost $100 billion in market cap. I
Jeez.
follow the economy, and whew, you want to hurt a company? You want to force a change? Boycott. Stop going to these. Um, stop taking pharmaceutical pills. Stop. I'm not saying to stop medication or stop treatment. I'm saying find alternatives. You want to force a change, go after where it hurts. The money.
Speaking of that, um, I wanted to bring this up because one, I think it's kind of funny because everybody's hating on Candace Owens, right? And Tucker Carlson, and they're anti-Semitic, blah blah blah. But you know who is really losing views right now and
Who's that?
losing part of their audience? The
Who's
Daily
that?
Wire.
Ooh. Let me
Their
guess.
shit is
Money.
going down. They're gonna start losing money. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
actually, you know what? I came across this not too long ago, but because the Daily Wire is a private company, they don't they're not quote unquote legally uh, obligated to disclose their finances. But apparently uh, the Daily Wire was worth like 2 billion at one point. I came across a news article that they were losing money. Like the revenue stream was losing money. Now
They
that's a number of factors,
yeah.
but I mean, if they really are losing money, we could see some changes.
Well, I believe it's not because the Daily Wire isn't doing enough. Is that the American people see right through it now? The American people are like, you're not talking about the things that we want to know about. So we're going elsewhere.
correct.
because I don't know if you saw the interview, or no, there was some sort of celebration that they were doing, and Matt started basically talking about him like, um, Israel doesn't really make sense. Like, he's an American, he supports America. He's going to be the next one to leave the Daily Wire, I guarantee it. But after that, their views have plummeted.
I wouldn't doubt it. Also, not again. We want to keep things fact based, but
Yeah,
uh, both Meg and I agree that Ben Shapiro is just an arm extension of Israel.
absolutely, especially throughout the Republican Party. And
Yes,
and I don't mean this in a mean way. Like, I don't hate him. I don't think that he should be deplatformed. I just think that if you're gonna, um, talk about policies in America, they should be for America, not another country. Like, and if that other
exactly.
country is your like personal gain, or your personal goal is to uplift this other country, go live there, Ben. Go live there. Sorry, I've heard a couple of
No,
people, and
I get that. I get that.
go live there if that's like you're happier here. Because remember, he lived in California, and then California went to shit, and he was all against the Democrat. I mean, he has been forever.
I watched them during that time too. I
Yeah,
watched them. I watched his videos during that time.
I did too. But I once it got to anything about Israel, I couldn't do it because I've known about Israel's corruption at least. And remember, we're not talking about the Jews. We're just talking about Israel, the government,
The government, the
the
government,
people who are in charge,
Netanyahu, and
the
these
blood,
intelligence agencies,
the
CIA,
CIA.
Mossad.
Like, I want to include the CIA when I say Israel. Like that. That's
No,
how.
I know, and I kid you not. I even saw. I didn't see the video all the way, but I saw a video that even Netanyahu is just another puppet. So that
Yeah,
is my question. Who is pulling the strings? It's probably a question that I will never find the answers to. But if I can have just a peek
straight
of
fast.
who might be involved, it's just like our own politicians. If they can just say, hey, we're stealing from you because you're lower than us, at least it's the fucking truth.
Right. Like, nana boo boo. You can't touch us. Like,
Exactly.
and I
I'm not
totally believe
saying
them.
I'm not saying for the US not to have an intelligence community, but at least where the fuck is my money going?
Right. Well, I do know that our money is going to a new project within the police surveillance. Probably saying that wrong, but um, that they need a deal with what is it, ring bell, the doorbell, the door cam.
Oh yeah, ring, yeah.
Ring. Yeah, they made a deal with them to be able to download that information, to download your videos. Like, are you uh, the things that they need a warrant for that they're not going to need a warrant for now because the company
You
is
know,
just going to, okay, well,
yeah.
just download it for you.
Oh, oh, oh. Another example. So follow the money. The Kamala Harris campaign during the 2024 election cycle.
That's a good one. I absolutely
She,
recommend.
yes,
Go ahead.
headlines will say that she raised 1 billion with a B, $1 billion, and it's out there. You can see who donated. But then headlines are also saying that her campaign was negative
Yep.
20 million. Was it 20
Uh-huh.
or 200? So
I
20,
think
20 million. 20 million in debt. So just ask the question, where did the money go? And
right.
these are government official records. These are publicly available government records. Where did the money come from and where did it go? Now, I admit you're not going to
1.5
account for every
billion
penny,
dollars.
but
It's 1.5
but
billion dollars.
1. Oh, $1.5 billion
Yep.
and 20 million in debt when everything is said and done.
21 million was spent.
20, 21 million in debt.
I'm looking at it right now. So I wanted to fact check in real time. Anyway,
Yeah. Now,
I know that a bunch
so
of the employees also weren't able to be paid. I also know that a lot of that money went into TikTok influencers to spread positive things to
I was just think, I wanted to bring this up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor, man.
Harry Sisson on TikTok. And I also the tea guy Ginger. I forget the his tag number, but Ginger, the tea
Oh, yeah,
guy,
the
and
feedback.
Harry Sisson. Harry has always been known uh, as an arm extension of the Democrat Party. Just trolling, shitting all over Trump, shitting all over the Republican Party. Oh, Biden is
Yeah.
great. He's smart. He's intellectual. But we see that the political leaders, were doing their thing. Come to find out,
Mm-hmm.
Harry Sisson and his organization were being paid by the DNC.
Yeah, absolutely.
The the ginger tea guy. I loved his videos.
Yep.
I admit I followed him. He had the internet tea. And you know what?
Right.
I loved his content. Next thing you know, he's advocating for a certain political party.
I should
And
I
I
should
kid you not, receipts were dropped that he was receiving donations from the DNC.
I'm pretty sure didn't you sent me that, but I think it's on my old
Yes,
phone. Yeah.
yes.
I'll let
And
you
then
I'll share
Aaron,
I'll share it again.
another one is Aaron Paul Vaughn. I don't follow those guys, but
Yeah. There's tons of
it
them.
is known. Yeah, it is known that they are paid. Now, it's not just the Democrat Party. Uh, Conservative Unfiltered on it's an autistic young lady. She was at the influencer meeting with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu when he dropped the name of the right wing or the woke right.
Whoa.
His words.
Yeah, trust me,
Um,
I'm the woke right.
you know, uh, she was paid. Now, whether she uses that as she was paid influence, or she maintains her She could have been paid all this time. I don't know. She
Right.
does share facts though.
But
It's not. All of this is both. It's
that
the entire U.S. government.
so that's where they get you because everybody's tired of the whole two-party system. Like, let's be real. Everybody's fucking tired of it being Democrats and Republicans because it's obnoxious. Like, we're about racism, they're about just killing babies. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it being a red and white or red and blue problem because it's not. It's literally like good versus evil. Like,
It
some
is.
people are evil, some people are evil, and that's how, like, not all, or as we were talking about with how many people are getting paid from APAC, which shouldn't be allowed, and JFK was trying to get rid of, and then, oh, oops. Anyway, so both sides are influenced heavily by Israel, heavily by the money that they contribute, that they don't have their people taking their people's money because their people are getting payments every month just for having a child from our tax dollars. Did you know this?
If you don't believe us, watch the interview of Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz.
I mean, or
That's
yeah,
that's all the evidence you need, people.
but like there is more out there. There is more out there that shows like that our tax dollars pay for another country's way of life. I'm sorry, that's not my job. That's not my problem. My
How
problem
many
is my
African
country.
Yep. How many African countries were Americans complaining about that they weren't receiving aid? You know what that aid was supposed to be for? Humanitarian aid. You know what it was? It was a welfare check to foreign governments. We,
Literally.
the United States government, over the last 20 some odd years, probably more, but that's
I
over me,
can't.
has created welfare countries. And
Oh yeah.
it's not even our fault. It's not even the U.S. fault. It is the foreign countries' governments, their own governments, especially in Africa, which is really bad. But
Michael.
U.S. government created, maybe not created, but we definitely enabled welfare countries.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, but let's say let's say that right before we do our taxes, let's say right after the election. Okay, right after we have our election, we get this thing for everybody who's going to get a W-2 and do their taxes, okay? And you get a W-2 and you say, I want part of my taxes to go to Israel or Palestine or Italy or Jamaica. I don't care. If you want that, you should be able to do that. If you don't want that, you should be able to not do that. It should not be forced upon everyone. it drives me insane. The
Yep,
money,
yep.
and then it.
So, um,
Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna share this a bit. So, in my podcast, again, criticalthinkingnerd.com, I am sharing the principles of the U.S. Constitution. And part of the U.S. Constitution, part of the idea, because all of this is built on an idea. The idea is that we are living off the foundation of a moral and religious society, or the way
Religion
Hamilton,
to lead on.
um, moral and religious people.
And that also bothers me too because people are like, we're supposed to have religious freedoms. Yes, because the believing in Jesus is still technically semi new to the world out of the religions. Just saying, might tick some people off, but it is the newer one out of the older religions. And so a lot of people get upset. Oh, Lord Jesus. Sorry. I'm gonna end up going in a whole different net. So
Yeah, no,
I gotta
no,
shut.
that, yeah.
I'm
It,
Katie Jones
it,
moment. I'm
it,
sorry for my tone like 30 seconds ago. Like I'm fine now.
if you're interested to dive down these rabbit holes with us, please comment in the video, share your thoughts. If you want to join us on the live, reach out to us. I am taking questions in my um, podcast. My email is in the episode links for my Constitution series. If you want to directly help uh, contribute to this podcast with True
Actually,
Talks, we are open to donations. It's not just a one and done thing. It's not just a solely on intelligence. This whole podcast is on everything,
right.
on declassified information, on, as this episode is, trails of the money tree. We're
Hmm.
talking, it's all connected. Last episodes was everything is connected. Money is connected. These money trails are connected. So it's not just a one topic. It's about everything that's on our minds. It's on everything of how it's all connected. We've done some history with the CIA, with Israel intelligence, Mossad. We do dive into politics a little bit. It's everything. So this isn't just a commentary. This is sharing facts. This is our take on our frustrations, but what we dig through. It's not just frustrations. This is also a history class for you. It's all connected.
Literally, follow the money. Like, so homework this week for you guys. I want you to, if you don't already know, look up the information about the day before 9/11. What happened on that day? That's what I challenge you to do. Because once you know what happened the day before, and you're gonna understand why they needed us to forget it. It was a ginormous distraction from the truth, and it's so. Also, look into George Bush Jr. and some of the things that he talks about in a couple of interviews. Like, one is the interview that he does that he talks about how the conspiracy theories are going to go nuts about me. That one's a good one to check out.
Speaking on Bush administration, you know who I'm very pissed with?
I'm sorry,
Dick Cheney. You know who I'm very pissed with? Dick
Dixon,
Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
That's for another episode, people. But
Yes.
you and this isn't so. The coined phrase is rabbit holes. You know
Right.
what? My challenge to you is, where did that term come from? You know what
Oh,
all of this is? Oh, you know?
Where rabbit hole came from?
Where did rabbit
The
hole come from?
the rabbit hole comes from the Q movement.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
Q, and Disney technically because of Alice in Wonderland and how she follows the
True,
rabbit.
true.
So
That's true.
that's the basis of it. But also, it was coined again by the CIA because that's what they like to say to like be like they're going down these rabbit hole like it's a derogatory term towards people that
For
deal with
researchers,
religion.
for journalism.
Right. Like I tell them I'm
Pretty
an
much.
independent researcher.
Eh, exactly. And by all means, you could say that all of this is conspiracy theories, but if you really, and I want you as a listener to really understand these terms, to really understand these coined phrases, because, and again, a lot of these things that we're talking about, I share on my podcast. My podcast is on societal issues, and I share the societal level of it. A lot of what is being shared and coined and overused is being drowned by these echo chambers. Do you
Yeah.
really understand what a Nazi is? Do you really understand what a fascist is? Do you really understand what a conspiracy theory is? Like
Right.
the phrasing, the phrase, the terms. Do you really understand what rabbit hole is?
Right.
All
It's
this is, all this is just deep level research. That's it. That's all it is. Just deep level research.
yeah. And the deeper you go, the funner it gets. Because there's always more.
There's always more.
And it always leads you to God. Just saying.
That it
So
does. That it does.
and people get really irritated with that. And especially a couple of my very much heatheny friends who are conspiracy or my hippie conspiracy theories that are really into Mother Earth. They get really mad at me for saying that. But God's bringing you to a plant. God's bringing me to more and more people every day. That's the way I see it.
I actually have a story to tell on a at a different time, but I can really share not my personal testimony, but I can share how certain people were into really dark and immoral places and activities, and they opened up to the Word of God, and I've seen some transformations even for
Absolutely.
myself, but I've seen some transformations. And one of them I would love to share with you, but that'll be a different time.
Definitely. Absolutely. Um, so next week, I think, at least me personally, I want to look more into um, the projects, all the different projects that the CIA did. That's what I'm
Sounds good.
thinking.
Oh, and I actually have a list on that. And whew, there are a lot.
There's a lot. There's a
There's
lot
a
of
lot,
them.
people.
Like,
There's
and
a
I
lot.
know someone like spends like 80 hours naming off each and every one because there's a lot. But there are some specific ones that need to be talked about that are current, that are within the last 30 years, within the last 50 years. Like the things that they have been doing, it's important because your tax dollars is paying for it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Getting that all
And I want to bring this up real quick. I want to bring this up real quick. It's not a conspiracy theory, but you do have to, think critically and connect some dots. The deep state, which is fact, again, is, this is all in shadows. You have to dig for the information. The deep state has a blank check with your tax dollars.
Facts. Literally.
So think on that. Just think on that.
And we can also probably go into why the government's able to do that. I don't think we'll do that next week. That might be another show. But like if y'all go back to Voices of the People page where I talk about the Titanic, you might be quite interested in that podcast. That's kind of old, but I'll redo it. Who cares? Psh, who cares?
No, because that actually brings up into the current monetary system of the U.S.
Exactly.
Look and actually, that's my challenge to you. Look into the Titanic. Look into who was on the Titanic. Look into so Titanic was 1912. What happened in 1913 for the U.S.?
Yep.
That is my challenge to you.
Do the research, look up the history, let us know what y'all think in the comments or in any of my platforms. You can get into the beacons. I'm pretty positive now I have to look. Damn it. But I'm pretty positive there is a way to contact me in there. If not, I will I will definitely. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me anywhere you're at that it'll allow you to message me. Instagram, any of it. All. Oh yeah, you can leave a note. Yep, right at the bottom. You can leave a note. Yay! So leave me a note on my beacons. What do you think we should talk about more of? What do you like? Anybody who wants to come on, talk, chat, do any of these deep dives with me and Nerd, like, we got you. And of course,
Thank you
don't
very
forget
much
to.
for listening with us.
And sorry, I don't. There it is. There's my banner. There it is. Yeah, keep this podcast going. Donate to my Venmo or Cash App at Mega Opinionated. One word. That is me. Donate so I can keep this page running. And hopefully we
And
will.
again, criticalthinkingnerd.com and my Beacons website is there for you as well. Thank you very much, people.
Have a great one.